Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she is the queen of Cajun cooking. We're going to find out what's cooking with Lady Jambalaya next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
You know, we're hearing a lot on the news about a possible recession, and I tell people that when you hear murmurs of a recession, that's the time when you need to reach deep into your belly and find that extra burning desire. I call it grit, determination. You have your own name for it, but I can't think of a better person to come into the studio to talk about it than Lady Jambalaya. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
You're going to love her journey because your products are now in 255 stores?
Yes, sir. 255.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Give us a flavor for what you came up with.
Ready-made homemade gumbo. The gumbo has crab, shrimp, sausage, smoked turkey, and chicken in it. It's a Creole dish. I'm from New Orleans, born and raised. And I also have jambalaya that has rice, chicken, sausage, ground beef, and mushrooms. Shrimp is like this size. Being that I'm from NOLA, we don't play about our food. You add nothing to it, and it's in the frozen food section of the grocery stores.
All right. How long have you been working to perfect the recipes?
Well, I started cooking in the kitchen at 5, in the actual kitchen, making the product at age 7. I was, my grandmother taught me. I was in the kitchen cooking like every single day, sometimes 3 times a day, especially if school is out. I didn't have a vacation, so.
And you and I have a mutual friend in Rebecca Lopez from Channel 8,
Yes.
a great legendary reporter here in Dallas.
Absolutely.
And she did a wonderful feature story on you about a year ago. So it was the height of COVID. Let's go ahead and roll that piece now.
She started from scratch.
I started in the comfort of my home cooking.
Christine Odek-Barrow always had a flair for cooking.
I use healthy ingredients. I was in the kitchen following my grandmother, watching her every move. My grandmother was a chef.
Christine says her first attempt at cooking at the age of 7 was a little rough.
For a whole week, all I did was burnt pots and water. And I don't know how you do that.
But once she got the hang of it, she had all her grandmother's church folk talking.
They would say, Sister Wells, what you put in them greens? Oh, I didn't cook those greens. Christine cooked those greens.
And so began a lifelong journey.
She said to me, cooking is not rushing. You have to put your heart in it. You have to put your mind in it.
Christine moved to Dallas in the 90s and worked in a medical office for more than 20 years. She says she worked long hours and on the side was selling plates of her home-cooked jambalaya.
I would sell my product on my breaks, on my lunches, before I got to work, and then after I leave work. That's how determined I was.
But then something happened that would change her life forever.
I got sick in 2015 and almost literally died, and that's when it just came to me that I can't continue to do this. Something has to give. So I went into my office and put in 2 weeks of notification.
From a near-death experience, Lady Jambalaya was born.
I took a leap out on faith. I just started making money from there.
She sold her products online and drove thousands of miles around Texas trying to get a grocery store to sell Lady Jambalaya.
2.5 hours, 3 hours. I work. I got 1,000 no's before I got that one yes. Hi guys, this is Lady Jambalaya. I'm at the Cash Saver in Duncanville.
Finally, in 2020, she got her product in dozens of stores.
I'm at the Cash Saver off of Ledbetter. I'm at the Camp Wisdom location.
And got people to buy it by giving out samples.
Come all the way down to the frozen food section. My product is sold here.
But then the pandemic hit.
And I'm like, okay, I'm doomed. I'm doomed.
She says she got on her knees and prayed.
God did not bring us this far for nothing. If I don't get out here and push my product, who's going to know about my product?
So she says she had to rely on the product to speak for itself. And by the end of 2020,
I'm on aisle 15.
she was in more than 140 stores.
Guys, have a blessed day. It was days where I almost given up because, you know, of my age.
This is the finished product.
Yes.
She still does her own cooking with the help of her family.
Oh.
She doesn't have investors.
That is so good. That's amazing.
She owns 100% of the company.
Wow.
Making her a 100% Black-owned business.
As I'm putting the product on the shelf, people are buying it.
She says now she is smiling all the way to the bank.
You do what you are passionate about. That's how you're going to make money.
Wow, what a beautifully told piece. Well done, Rebecca Lopez, if you're watching. I'm so impressed with your determination. I mean, it's the old saying, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. Where did you get that, I don't know, that stubborn grit?
I think because I'm a Capricorn and I've always been like that.
Yes.
And being that I worked 20-something years in the corporate America world, I was the first one to get to work and the last one to leave work because I just, you know, I've just always been determined my work ethics. And then, you know, it was an uncle that told me, my favorite uncle, Herman, and he said, Chris, you're not going to get rich in corporate America. You're going to have to break out on your own. And because I like money, I like what it does for me and my family is the reason why I stay on my grid or my grind.
I love it. You need to write a book at some point and
I will.
teach other people that kind of grit. We got some video that we pulled off of your Facebook page, and you just delight when you get into a new store, don't you?
I do. I love that, you know, having that customer service. I love interacting with my customers. A lot of customers, they say to me, like, you're actually Lady Jambalaya. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Lady Jambalaya. They love that. They love that. And they don't only just buy one, they buy 2 to 4. If you go to my Facebook and Instagram page, you'll see the pictures.
All right, we're going to show this video now, and I don't know if you remember this TikTok video.
Yes. I remember.
So, and it's almost like you want to do a happy dance.
I
Is that
did.
right?
I did.
You're so proud. And people need to know that it's hard to get into grocery stores, isn't it?
It is. It's very hard. You get 1,000 no's before you get that one yes. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do, and you have to be on it.
Wow. And you said at one point when the yes came, when a big yes came, suddenly you had a windfall.
Yes. I got that one yes, and within 30 days, I got in 5 stores. Less than 3 months later, I got into 11 stores. By that same year, November 4th, I was approved to be in another 148.
Oh my goodness.
Then January 6th, the following year, I ended up in 16 more grocery stores.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And you did a lot of this during COVID, which
Yes.
was a time when I think a lot of business owners were hesitant to do anything. So you're not only trying to knock on doors, you're trying to knock on doors during a really difficult time for grocery stores, right?
Yes. I've been doing this for a long time, like website, all of that. I started really in 2010 is when I started. I started doing bit by bit as I was working for corporate America, getting things done, labelings, all of that. That all came later into the picture.
I want to show on the screen a map that we got on your website, and it just shows all these dots. And you've got to be so proud.
I am. And my family is more prouder. So.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And are you getting fan mail now from some of your customers? And I mean, what kind of comments do you get from your customers?
They'll say things like, "Oh my God, you're Lady Jambalaya." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Lady Jambalaya." And they're like, "Did you use any investors?" No, I'm 100% Black owned. And that's when they're like really, truly excited. And then they start to treat me like a celebrity. And I had to tell one lady, I was like, "Please don't put me on a pedestal like that. Only one person you put on a pedestal, and that's him." And she was like, no. Just let me have my moment. I ain't never met no Black lady in a grocery store that is in these many grocery stores. So I just let people have their moment or whatever, but I'm human.
I'm so impressed with you. Okay, so your camera is right there. Look into the viewer's eyes and give them some words of encouragement right now, because a lot of people are fearful about what's happening to the economy.
I would say I get this question asked all the time, and the thing that I say is to stay focused, Stay determined. Do not, let people distract you. Keep going because it's going to pay off.
What a great show. We're going to end with the website, which is ladyjambalaya.com. You are such an inspiration. We're going to have you back soon.
Thank you.
You bet.
Would love to.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.